Alright, hey guys, how's it going? Kyle here. So today I'm going to be explaining to you why Blue Eyes White Dragon, even though it gets decent support, still does nothing. So let's get right into it. Starting off, Blue Eyes Jet Dragon. Actually, really cool anime card because of like when Kaiba got on it, so that's pretty cool. Now, its effects are almost pointless. Now, I'll say it. So, other cards you control cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. That's an alright effect. They can still be targeted, but, they can't be destroyed, which is super cool. Um, so you can, but itself can be targeted. That's the only downside. Now, each of these effects can only be used once per turn and can only be activated while Blue Eyes White Dragon is on your field or graveyard. That's a common theme with the new support. At least this and Deep Eyes, Abyss Dragon, Blue Eyes Abyss Dragon. And if a card's on the field is destroyed by a battle or card effect, you can special summon this card from the graveyard if it was there when this card was destroyed, or hand even if not. So specials from hand or grave on destruction of a card you control, which isn't the worst effect, but why doesn't it just protect the Blue Eyes card by sending it itself? And then have a graveyard special summon effect separate. I don't get that. Because you can send it from the hand to negate, and then graveyard special summon by Tribunate or something. That would make so much more sense. And there's other effect that started to damage step if this card battles, you can target one card your opponent controls, return it to the hand. That effect's alright, but of course it's not gonna really summon often. Next card has been out for a while, but still newish support. Deep of Blue Eyes. So if this card is special, somebody can add one ritual spell or polymerization from your deck to your hand. The ritual spell isn't that bad of effect to add, so it's good with the ritual build of Blue Eyes. But the fact that it adds polymerization is completely useless. Now, especially since we got Ultimate Fusion, which is a Blue Eyes fusion card. And just let me say, it took them so long to make a Blue Eyes fusion card. They made a Red Eyes fusion before this. Technically a Dark Magician fusion card, but they didn't give it to the one of the three who actually is a fusion deck. But enough of that. So this won't search your new fusion card, which is so weird. I don't get why they chose to do that, but whatever. And then so during your end phase, you can add one level 8 or higher dragon monster from your deck to your hand. Whatever. What is it going to do level 8? I guess you can add Jet Dragon for destruction protection. Well, it's not even protection, it's just replacement, really. But why is it add on end phase? Also, its other effect is you can banish this card from your graveyard. All other 8 or higher dragon monsters you control gain 1,000 attack. What does that really do? I'm confused to why that's here. What is the purpose of the card having that effect is my main thing. It's just another gimmick effect that does nothing in the long run. It only prevents, if anything. It just gains attack. They can't be destroyed. It would be better if one's untargeted or something. The attack does nothing when you can just go ahead and, I don't know, activate Widow Anchor. Just Sky Striker, Widow Anchor, and bam, 4,000 just for them. It's like a present. I don't understand Konami's decision with Blue Eyes. It's kind of sad almost. And then, of course, these effects can only be activated if a Blue Eyes White Dragon is on the field or graveyard. So, you only play 5, and technically, what's it called? Alternative Blue Eyes is only Blue Eyes while on the field, but that's just gonna get sent easily because modern day Yu-Gi-Oh, you just can't expect things to stay, so it's so dumb. Now the next card, the Tyrant of D, is known in Japanese, or Dictator of D. In the TCG, but this is actually a really good card. Now this helped Blue Eyes if Blue Eyes wasn't so breaky. Now, the reason I say that, this card is Magician Souls for Blue Eyes, so if you don't know, if you control a Blue Eyes monster, you can choose to attack targets for your opponent's attacks. Doesn't really matter, but cool. Its effects, which are once per turn for each of them, are really what makes this card good. So you can send one Blue Eyes White Dragon from your hand or deck to the graveyard to special summon this card from your hand. Like I said, Magician Souls, just a beautiful card. Also, you can discard a Blue Eyes White Dragon or one card that mentions it to target a Blue Eyes monster in your graveyard, special summon it, which is cool. Now, the main thing is because you can send a Blue Eyes from your hand to special Blue Eyes, and Ultimate Fusion will just shuffle it back into the deck, so it's kind of free. And it's just really good because since Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon, or the level 7, I believe, the one that like tributes itself to special Blue Eyes from the hand, is always considered a Blue Eyes card. It's really good just to get a free to banish effect off Dictator D. So this card is insane. It's like a pile of gold amongst like crap. Really is what it is. So same, almost the same for Ultimate Fusion. Now the problem with Ultimate Fusion is because it shuffles from the deck from the field, graveyard, or hand into the deck. Blue Eyes, your materials for an extra deck monster that contains Blue Eyes White Dragon or Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon specific materials, which is good, but you know, kind of adds it back to the deck, so that's more bricks being added to the deck, I guess, which isn't the worst thing. But then the mediocre effect after is you can destroy face-up cards your opponent controls up to the number of Blue Eyes White Dragon and Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon used. Now, that sounds like a great effect, but here, they had to ruin it by saying, use from the field as material. So, most of the materials you're using for this are going to be for the graveyard or the hand, because it's a quick play, so you're going to use it on your opponent's turn. So they completely crap on that and said it's only from the field, so that effect's basically useless. So it's just kind of mockery at this point. Like, why? What is the purpose? I mean, they're still going back to deck, you're losing resources, you still get any benefit from it. I don't get why they had to decide that, but it's nice to finally have a fusion card for Blue Eyes. So I will give it that, and it's not the worst. It's better than Red Eyes Fusion, in my opinion, even though Red Eyes sends from deck. It's just, it doesn't completely ruin your turn. Next, we have the Apparition with Eyes of Blue. Now, this card's interesting. So, when you activate this card, you can reveal Blue Eyes White Dragon in your hand and special summon one monster from your hand. So, this seems like a new card because I haven't seen it. If it's not, please let me know, but it seems really new to me. So you have to activate this card, and it doesn't have any effect on activation unless you can reveal a card. Now let's look, I don't know, the new Libromancer. This card is activated, you can add a Libromancer card from your hand. I don't know, Magical Meltdown, add an Alistair from your deck to your hand on activation. Have you ever normal summon Alistair effect? I mean, like, come on. Why do you have to reveal to special summon a monster from your hand? And it doesn't have the monster from your hand. So basically, you either have to have this card and a Blue Eyes and just summon the Blue Eyes you revealed, or another card. So it's like a 2-card thing to get one special summon, which is retarded. And then another thing, once per turn you can target one face-up monster you control, return that face-up monster to the hand, then apply the following effect based on the original name of the card returned to the hand. If you return a Blue Eyes White Dragon, special a monster from your hand. Or if it's other card, special summon a Blue Eyes monster from your hand. So it's basically just like switching out once per turn. It's like, I don't want this Sage anymore. I'm going to add it back to the hand, special summon a Blue Eyes. Now that sounds good on paper because you can just add Sage, but like, what's the point of it? I mean, I guess adding Sage from field to the deck to special Blue Eyes, and you're using Sage's effect. Like, because I'm pretty sure neither of them are once per turn. Let's look that up really quick while we're here. So yeah, we look at Sage. You can only use this effect. So when this card is normal, somebody can have one level Light Tuner from your deck to your hand, except Sage with Eyes of Blue. So I guess it's okay if you combine it with Sage, where you normal summon the Sage, add the Light Tuner, use that, reveal the Blue Eyes special or whatever, and then use its effect to return the Sage with Eyes of Blue to hand, and then add your whatever card special to Blue Eyes. Now then you can use this effect because you would have got the level 1 Light Tuner that you want to summon off the activation of that card, and then send it to the graveyard and then special summon a Blue Eyes monster from your deck, and then bam, right there you get into your Twin Burst Dragon. But the funny thing is that's a good combo, but all they have to do is just like in-perm on the effect monster in the same like, or just negate this, or negate the first summon, or like Ash. It's not good enough. Is basically the premise behind this card. Next card came out even before the Abyss Dragon, I believe, but this card is Strength and Unity. I don't think anyone really cares about this card. I forgot it existed. So if you ritual or fusion summon using a Blue Eyes White Dragon or a Dark Magician, so this was when they were trying to combine the two for some reason, you can target one card your opponent controls in the graveyard, or in their graveyard, and banish it. So Dark Magical Circle for Blue Eyes is kind of what it's at, except it's on the ritual or fusion summon using What? Why? Why wouldn't it be on the special summon of a Blue Eyes White Dragon or Dark Magician? I mean, I guess maybe because since Dark Magician already has that, but I mean, I guess Fusion Summoning makes more sense with Blue Eyes, but not really Dark Magician because you're not doing that all often. So it just seems kind of pointless. And then you send this face-up card from the field to the graveyard. Then target one level 7 or higher normal monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand, or shuffle it into the deck. So you don't want Dark Magician to be added to your hand, and you don't really care about Blue Eyes being in your hand unless if you're playing this god-awful card. So that effect's pretty much completely useless for both interactions. Next is Destined Rivals. Came out of the same set. Also hot garbage. If you control a Blue Eyes White Dragon or Dark Magician, negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls until the end of the turn. Now that sounds good on paper, but when are you going to actually draw this card, not brick on it, and have the Blue Eyes White Dragon or Dark Magician on your field without it being destroyed? Now this makes more sense in Dark Magician. Well, I mean, technically we do have Eternal Soul here, but like, still, it's not worth playing it in the deck because it's just another brick, and you already have way too many bricks when it comes to this deck. Next, Ultimate Creature Destruction. This came out a little bit before all the stuff was reprinted, so I'm going to go over it anyways. Target one Blue Eyes monster you control. This turn, that face-up monster is unaffected by card effects except its own. It cannot be destroyed in battle. Also, any opponent monster in battles is destroyed at the end of the damage step. I hate this card mainly because I saw someone use it, right? He summoned a White Stone of Legend and had this card. Well, what are you going to do with that? He can't do anything but have a White Stone of Legend, link into a Link Revo, and set this card. This card does nothing. It's not a negation, and it's just so circumstantial like Destined Rival. It's just not worth it. And then while this card is in your graveyard, if you normal or special summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon, you can set this card by banish it when it leaves the field. That's a cool effect, but once again, when is this effect going to be prevalent often? It just makes, it's not worth it. It's just not worth it. It doesn't do enough to make it worth it. And the final main deck card that we're going to really go over is True Light. Now, this card was another ripoff of a Dark Magician card, Eternal Soul. Now, this one is somewhat promising, I'm not going to lie, but it's, I don't know, it's just, once again, it's Blue Eyes. It's just so hard to make Blue Eyes decent, unlike Dark Magician, because Konami actually loves Dark Magician. So this card's effect is your opponent cannot target Blue Eyes White Dragon in your monster zone with card effects. Same as Eternal Soul right there. This face-up card is sent from the spell and trap zone to the graveyard. Destroy all monsters you control. Same exact thing as Dark Magician still. You can only use the following effects of True Light once per turn, and you can only activate one of these effects. Same exact effect of Eternal Soul, just for Blue Eyes White Dragon. Now its effects is special summon one Blue Eyes White Dragon from your hand or graveyard. Wow, that's pretty much Dark Magician's Eternal Soul effect too. And its other effect is set one spell or trap directly from your deck that specifically lists Blue Eyes White Dragon as a text with a different name from the cards you control in the graveyard. Now that second effect sounds really good until you realize that you can't have a single copy of it in your graveyard or hand. Or graveyard field. That just, why? That doesn't make sense. Like, I'd rather have to discard a card to add it to hand than set it. I don't get it. The first effect's good. The second effect, I mean, maybe, but it just seems so iffy. Just once again, it's sad that like all this stuff could be good if Blue Eyes wasn't bad itself. It's just such a bricky card and deck because they don't have enough fluid support with Tyrant. Like Dark Magician just got the new Link monster or Ritual monster, one that like searches a monster that mentions Dark Magician in its text, and then adds it to your hand and places a card from your hand on top of the deck. That's extremely good, but we don't have anything like that, so we can't search anything with this deck, so we have to rely on drawing, and then that's just not good enough. Anyways, let's get into the last card, the new Fusion Monster. Now, this card actually good as well. So, it's a Blue Eyes White Dragon and a Dragon Monster, which is basically two Blue Eyes. So, it must first either be Fusion Summoned or Special Summoned from the extra deck by tributing one Blue Eyes White Dragon equipped with a Fusion Monster. I don't know how you're going to equip the Fusion Monster unless you're playing like Hermos, I believe, or Fangocridius, which who plays that? But yeah, I guess it's nice. So this card is unaffected by trap cards or effects. That's pretty cool. Not gonna lie. Uh, this card can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. Once again, not bad. 3400 doesn't have battle destruction. Protection for battle phase like your Twin Burst does. So far Twin Burst is better unless if you want protection. Once per turn at the end of the damage step of this card battled, you can target one trap in your graveyard, set it to your spell trap. So this card's alright. It doesn't really, you don't really use trap cards though, and it's not a Blue Eyes trap card even that you would probably set. Like, let's just look at Twin Burst real quick. It's 2 Blue Eyes White Dragons, basically the same material. It must be either fusion summoned or special summoned by sending a monsters you control to the graveyard. Which that's easier to do than equip the fusion monster to Blue Eyes White Dragon. So this cannot be destroyed by battle. That is really good. This card can make up to 2 attacks on monsters during each battle phase. Not as broken, but once again, it cannot be destroyed by battle, so it's obviously better. At the end of the damage step, when this card attacks an opponent's monster, but the opponent's monster was not destroyed by the battle, you can banish that opponent's monster. It's a non-targeting banish. And what does this bring? A graveyard trap set? Like, why? Why Konami? Why? You basically might as well just add the unaffected by trap cards or effects to this. Just re-release this card. I mean, it's good, but like it's just Twin Burst is basically better for most situations. Let's just look at Ultimate Dragon real quick. The definition of useless. Best way to sum up Blue Eyes, really. Let's be honest. It's sad. I love the deck. It's pretty cool. Cool character. Monster. Cool character backlog with like Kaiba and everything. It's just so underrepresented. Oh, well, at least I say that. And then look at all this useless support. Just none of it does anything. None of it does anything good enough to interact with each other. Especially these 2 new cards coming out. These are actually crap. We'll talk about those at a later date. Once again, that's enough ranting on Blue Eyes. But seriously, Konami, come on.